Xiang. Semporna, one of the most famous travel spots in Malaysia, attracts tourists to travel by its crystal clear water and its beautiful coral scenery. There is a native which can hold their breath underwater for a long time, named Bajau Laut. Bajau Laut sea nomads had been living in Semporna area for thousands years ago, surviving on sea-based activities such as fishing, trade, and boat. Therefore, sea living making them natural divers as fishermen as their main source income. However, their livelihood has changed in the age of Anthropocene. Our project 1 is a mapping narrative. My group mate and me choosing UC section to show a series of issues facing by Bajau Laut. There are fish blasting, coral destruction, shoreline erosion and water pollution, and sea level rising. All of these issues force Bajau move to living on the land as their livelihood on sea is getting harder. This is the model of the proposal. There is a tentacle structure which can transform the wave energy to electric to provide low current to artificial reef. This is the artificial reef under the structure, using low current to accelerate limestone growing on it, provide a better growing environment for coral. The artwork for my project 2 is a series of comics which saying about the Bajau current living condition and the problem they need to face to survive and how their activities impact the coral reef. The story begins can saw a Bajau man fishing in the sea tries to find food for his family. Suddenly, he gets killed by blast fishing activities and the coral also destroyed by blast fishing. When his son grown up become a coral researcher, tries to save the coral from coral bleaching by coral restoration program. He also saw that fishing activities had destroyed the coral living environment, such as boat ankle and ghost net will impact the coral growing. This is the coral triangle made by my proposal. Protect the coral from fishing activities. This is the imagination of Bajau and coral both can survive under the program that I propose. The design intention for my project 3 building is same with project 2, which is restore coral and rebalancing coral ecosystem. The program of my proposal is having a coral farm at the near shore area for Bajau growing coral and sell it to earning money instead of illegal coral mining. The main program of the building is coral restoration, which helps to restore the coral on the artificial reef, provide a better growing environment for coral. Researchers using the lab to find the best way to help coral against global warming. Tourists take part in this program helps to share the message of coral to people and increase the income of this area. The design concept of my building form is studied from the skeleton of coral, corallite. It is the base which support coral growing. Represent the coral reef is the skeleton of Semporna area, support ecosystem and Bajau livelihood. This is my spatial relationship. Bajau and coral researchers are mainly using this area and tourists are mainly using this area. This is the form of my buildings. My building is 700 meters from the Kampong Bangau jetty and the sea level depth of this area is more than 5 meters. suitable for scuba diving activities. This is nearshore coral farm. The building using pontoon structure support it float on the sea. Thatch and timber are the material to construct this building. They are located surrounded the nearshore area of Kampong Bangau. Bajau growing the coral in the artificial reef surrounded the building under the shallow seawater. These are the plan of my main building. This is tourist jetty. There is a lounge area for tourists waiting check-in to hotel. A restaurant with outdoor open area. People can enjoy the meal with the sunlight and scenery. A coral aquarium for tourists learning the information of coral and enjoy the beauty of coral. There is a hydraulic pump controlled elevator which can lift down people into the sea. Tourists can see the undersea view and the coral grow on the artificial reef under the building. Coral Restoration Lab is for tourists experiencing the program of Restore Coral. It also for produce coral by coral fragmentation. There is an experiment reef lab on the first floor for researchers study the coral, finding the best way to save them from coral bleaching. Artificial reef machine is a part of my building which located at the both sides of coral restoration lab. The main function of artificial reef machine is provide a better place for coral to grow under the sea. The coral will grow on the still-made artificial reef until they can grow well in the nature. The artificial reef machine will detach from the main building and a tugboat will pulling the artificial reef machine to the specific location. When the artificial reef machine reaches the specific area, the extended floor will provide spaces for people, making the base for locating the artificial reef. Diver and researcher will using wire rod to connect the artificial reef with the base. Artificial reef will detach from the artificial reef machine and pulley system is using in this method to slowly lift down the artificial reef connect to the base. The artificial reef will fit into the slot of the base and stay still in the seabed. Therefore, coral will attach back to nature after the program of coral restoration. Tourists and researchers will using the platform making the new artificial reef and restore the coral on it again. Steel is the main material to construct my main building. Drag anchor is using to theater my building with the seabed. This picture shows the past, present and future of Sempona. Coral is dying and destroyed by blast fishing and the fish is gone in the past. Now my building using artificial reef to revive coral ecosystem, and in the future Baja will have enough food from the ocean as the coral grows back and the fish amount increase. The balance between coral and Baja will equilibrium.
And now I'm going to showing the walkthrough of my building. Tourist jetty, special design for tourists, have a lounge in the middle for people resting while waiting check-in or check-out. Tourist hotel have a beautiful scenery view in the room. It connects to the coral aquarium for people enjoy the beauty of coral. And then is coral restoration lab. tourists learning about coral restoration at this area. Having a glass floor for people watching the coral restoration process from first floor, and this is the artificial reef machine, a platform for people making artificial reef, and this is researcher living area, connects to the restaurant. People can enjoy meal with beautiful scenery at here. Thank you for your listening. That's all.